Hi there everyone, welcome to Burning-Monkey.net. In my previous video I was demonstrating dividing the website into various sections, and that was the three sections, which was the logo, the content, and the copyright area. Now this reminds us of the time when we used to write essays in school, which was when we have the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So think about it the same way. So in one of my previous videos I demonstrated how to create the website using your mockup and putting a bunch of hotspots right onto the website or right onto the mockup. So in this video it's going to be different. So I'm going to start by creating a new index file. I'm going to say index2.html, and I wouldn't recommend doing this. This is just for demonstration purposes. I would name it something else instead of index so that you don't get it confused with your main page in case you rename it and you accidentally overwrite your index.html file. So now we have an HTML file. This is nice and clean, and we're going to go ahead and use divs and tables to create the content of our site, or to create our site. And those are the two different methods. One using divs and two using tables. And of course you can use a combination of both depending on how you think your website's doing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I go about doing this. So if you don't have the same icons here, you go at the top, go to Window, and you go to Workspace Layout and go ahead and click on Classic. Now I already have done this, and that's the reason why I have this. And we're going to use this draw APDiv here inside the layout. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And then you're going to start by drawing at the top, which is where our logo / banner area is going to go. And then go ahead and click on this icon again to draw the next part, which is, I don't know, maybe you think that this is going to have a side panel where your menu is going to go, or maybe some content there, maybe some content on this side as well. You can find, or if you have a website that you like that you might want to mimic, or that you have an idea that will look awesome on your site, go ahead and do that. Now some layouts are really sweet and pretty cool. So right now you might be answering, or you might be asking actually, well, this site is not going to be really straight. You're going to have to be really careful that you place it right so that when people go and they zoom in, they're not like, hey, your website's crooked. So one thing to fix that is go into view, and you can either put a guides and or grid. So depending on what you like to do, you can show grid and you can snap to grid. What I like to do is show rulers, and I like to place them here. And you basically click on where the ruler area is and drag it out to where you want it to be, and it automatically snaps onto this area. One last one I need to put is down here, so I'm gonna go ahead and if you have them kind of like crossed out like in an X, you'll notice that it snaps onto the left and the bottom area, which is really sweet. So that's what you want to do. And now we just are missing one last div, and that is down here for your conclusion or your copyright date. You can use it for something else as well. That's just usually what most companies, most websites tend to do. So right here at the top, I'm going to go ahead and type in this is the logo area, and I'm going to go ahead and preview this, preview in Chrome, and it's going to say, do you want to save it? Click yes. Every time that you're going to want to preview this, it's going to ask you if you want to save. You might need to click yes every time in order to have it update on the actual index2.html file. So there's is a logo area. Now you'll notice that you don't see this other sections unless we're going to go ahead and start typing just random stuff here into all these areas. Okay, we're going to go ahead and preview in Chrome. Yes. And then you have all these sections. And one thing you'll notice right off the bat is that none of this stuff is centered. So what we can do to do that real quick is you go into the area where you want to be centered. You can Control A, Command A to select all. Go into the CSS side, And just to demonstrate or to show each section, as you'll notice down here, target rule, it has number symbol, app div 1. This refers to this section. So this is div 1, and you can change it by simply clicking on these little things here. You can make it bold, and you can even go to font and change the font. The size, you can change the size as well. You can even type in a number if you wanted to, like 48 for instance. Make it bigger, and then we go to preview in Chrome and we save it. There you have, this is the logo area, and then you have all these little areas, and of course you can do the same. So right now when we go to this area and we highlight the text, you'll notice that it says APDiv 2, and of course if you click on this to center, make it bold, do the same thing to this one. It says APDiv 3, bold. That you can do this one italicized. So APDiv 4 italicized, and you can change it to Arial, and you can even bold it too. And at the bottom we'll just do that just for fun here. And we're gonna go ahead and preview in Chrome. So you can see this is really fun because you can easily create a layout for your website really fast, really simple. You can even move this around, and when we go to preview, it'll change it as soon as you click save. There you go, your content's right there in the center. And there's more things you can do with this. You can add a border to all these little AP divs, and there's content, there's areas where you can even do that. It's really something really fun. So it's really fun to customize your website and to just throw other things in there. Another thing I might want to add here is that, let's say you click on your AP box here and you see BG color. That stands for background color. So you can easily change that like that, and you can change all of the areas, all of the AP divs. You can change all their colors, and you get a really funky website if you don't do it right. Unless that's what your intention is, and there you go. So now that we have this change these backgrounds, you'll notice that you can finally see your layers, your format, and of course they are also like layers. So yes, you can also see your layers, and you can even layer them as well. So like I said, they're like layers. And the Z index basically tells you what is on the top and what is at the bottom. 0 being at the bottom, and the numbers go on and so forth to get to the top. Alright, so now, but one thing we'll notice when we go to Chrome and we are zooming in and out, I am minimizing, and you'll notice that your website doesn't center. So that's one of the problems with APDiv, is that it doesn't center to the web browser. So that's one thing that is not that great about that. And so that's pretty much it about divs. And of course there's more customizing tools that I recommend you search up if you're going to use this method. APDivs are awesome. They do require a little bit of knowledge of having fun. No, but really you just need to look up other things, like let's say you want to add a border, you can look that up, and that's pretty much it. Your knowledge is really basic when it comes to APDivs. You can look up everything online to learn about what to do, how to do it in using APDivs. Basically you're going to be doing it, let me restore real quick, redo. So basically I'll just show you when you go into the code mode. This is going to have center, so body APDiv 1, this is the logo area, and then we go into this code up here where it says hashtag APDiv 1, and then it tells you all the properties around it. So if you do some research, it'll show you to go into this CSS, because this style type text /CSS, that's what's creating all this little bits of code. And referring this hashtag APDiv is referring back to your little APDiv box. And you can do, you can go through here, border, and that's what I was talking about, and then the color, thin, thick, dash, and then you just don't forget to add your little semicolon here, and design, and then you can notice already it's already there. And then when we go ahead and preview in Chrome, click yes. Actually, you don't notice it right now because it's a white border, and so you have to go into the code and edit that out and add border thick, and then I think do color, but I don't remember, and then color, and then select the color, and then let's go to design. I didn't change it, but yeah, you can look it up and it'll show you how to add that to your CSS. So remember, it's just APDiv, how to add a border to an APDiv, and you'll get all the info you need. So that's pretty cool stuff anyway. So now that we've got APDivs done, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate the using of tables. So tables is pretty sweet as well. Only thing is that for tables, you probably need to plan ahead before you even go ahead to start on your website. So right now we have 3 rows, 3 columns, a table width of 200. You can change this. So let's say you want your website to be 800 by 600. Your width would be 600, and your thickness, this is where it comes to where you want a border or not. I'm gonna say no, so put 0 on that. Cell padding, do you want your borders to show kind of thing where you're padding and spacing? It even shows you a little picture here, and caption, summary, and whatnot. So you can play with those, and I'm just gonna go ahead and click OK, and you'll notice here we've got a table and it's divided into 3 by 3 blocks. So you might be thinking, how the heck do I edit this? You can move these around, resize them. That's the good thing about this program. And one thing that I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys is that you can have various tables. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it and create a 1-by-1 table. And what this allows you to do is just to resize it. And this is where our logo will go. So I'm going to go ahead and type in, this is where the top logo goes. Alright. And once we preview it, you'll notice that it's there. And then we would go ahead and go to, see, if you notice, it still has CSS. It's just target rule, new CSS rule. It's just going to add a rule to it. Go ahead and center this, and it has nowhere to go. It's like, hey, where's the APDiv? You must have something, so you have to type in something here to give it. This ASD is going to refer to this area. This is text every time you select it. And it's going to be .asd, as you can see right there. And you can also do the size thing. 48 was what we used before, and there we go. So now we go ahead and preview in Chrome. Yes, you'll notice this is where the top logo goes. And another thing that I just wanted to show you is, just like APDiv before, you can create, and you'll notice that the line right here, the typing and stuff, is right there. So hit return, and then you're going to put another box there, and you're going to resize it for the body size. Now you can see it could get kind of bad when it comes to content, ease of use, I guess, because as you'll notice, it's going to require some code to put this side by side here, which could be really annoying. Yep, it could get really annoying. So one thing to go ahead and go against that, or to prevent that, is, let's say you want something here, you want to have the content like we had before. You go ahead and click on your table, and you can see rows and columns. So you can say 3 and then you can spread this out over here like that, and then you can take this area and set it to where you want. And now this area would be blank, because even when you go about previewing your site, you're not going to notice that there's a column right in the center that's divided into 3, so you can't really tell unless you highlight it. So you have to be careful. Unlike APDivs, when you go to highlight it, it will not show you that it's divided into 3. It'll show you the sections, of course. So that's one thing that you have to be careful of when creating it this way. And the next part is the logo area for the copyright. And go ahead and create that here. Oh, didn't. There we go. And this is copyright. I'll just type in APDiv. So it's about the same. I definitely think divs are easier because you can manipulate them anywhere. And we're going to go ahead and preview in Chrome. Yes. So right now, as you'll notice, the website's not centering into the web browser. And the reason is I haven't set that. So if you can find a way to center it using divs, that would be awesome. If not, this is even easier when you do using tables. You just go to line center, and then you do this throughout all the tables here. Let's see if I can manage to click on this right. Alright, we'll do the bottom one then first. Align center, and then I think we can finally remove, and to remove a ruler guide, you just click and drag it out to the side and it will be gone. So now that I have that unclicked, there we go, and align center. So now when we go to preview this in Chrome, you'll notice that your website finally centers. And by center, every time you move it or it shifts, the web browser shifts, it is being pulled, like this text is being moved, unlike previously where the text didn't move. So to demonstrate that, you can just set this back to default, and then we can go to preview in Chrome. Yes, you want to save it, and you'll notice that this is where the top logo goes, doesn't move, but the rest of the website does. So you can see where this gives you an advantage and disadvantage. It's very easy to set that to go ahead and center itself on the web browser, so it's really sweet about that. And another thing about tables is that most of your content, if you have it placed in tables, will be the same on any other browser. It shouldn't have that big of a deal. It shouldn't have any type of weird bug issues. So all in all, tables is really good to have the continue to have a great experience on all platforms, as opposed to div tags, where some platforms the divs will be higher or lower on some browsers, which is really annoying. But all in all, when it comes to content creation, div tags definitely have the better edge on that. And you can of course use a combination of both if you can figure it out. And it just all depends on you, how much work you want to put into the site. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and keep watching for more content. Thanks for all your support, and have a great day, everyone. Thanks.